How would you feel waking up every single morning knowing that you were the master of your own universe, the master of your reality? Hello, my name is Matthew Paddy, host of the High Performance Consciousness podcast, and I welcome you to a new and exciting episode for today. Welcome, welcome. So the question is an interesting question, that what would happen, how would you feel if you woke up every single morning knowing that you were the master of your reality, actually knowing it, actually being a living, breathing embodiment of that wisdom? I'm sure your life would look very different. I'm sure you would feel very different about your world and about how you engage your world and how you build, design, and support the structure of your reality, the foundation of your reality, with that premise that you are the master of your reality. Because I hear so often that the underwhelming side of life is I feel like I do not have enough control over matter. I do not have enough control on outside events and circumstances. That is what I'm seeking. I'm seeking to balance the perceived chaos. So how do I find order in the perceived chaos in the outside? I find order by balancing or unifying opposites. And so if you go back to a number of my previous episodes, you will understand and be able to bathe in those waters of knowledge that there is polarity to teach us lessons so that we can garner new experiences and learn about the self and evolve as a result. However, we do not live in one side, in a unipolarized, a single-sided view of the world. We may believe we do because that's the experience we're having, or that's the experience that we are feeding or reacting to. When in fact, what we are experiencing always presents an equal counterpoint. So if it feels negative, there's always a positive that exists simultaneously in this now moment. We may not be able to see it through the blinkers or the limited view of our perception. However, laws of the universe dictate and support that there is unification all the time. Where there is shadow, there is light. Where there is negative or perceived negative, there is positive. Where there is a negative charge, there is a positive charge, because the universe seeks equilibrium. Therefore, we, as part of the universe, as expressions of the universe, seek equilibrium as well. So if you woke up every single morning knowing that you had the power to influence and change, upgrade, morph, evolve your reality in this moment, on this very day, would you do it? Chances are you would probably say yes. However, a couple of moments into that thought, you may think, well, how? How do I balance my universe? How do I bring order to my chaos? How do I master my reality? Go back and listen to all the podcasts and string those pearls together, because it may not feel easy. It may not feel easy, but it is simple. It is simple. So imagine for a moment that as you wake up in the morning, you are clean, you are whole, you are present and available, and you are new. Like Grandma says, did you come down in the last shower? Yes, I came down with the wisdom that I can apply to this reality. So when you learn through the experience of your past and you transcend the pain, the density that is stored at times in those experiences, you have knowledge applied that created wisdom. So now you have learnt from those and you think, well, I'm not going to do that again, or I'm going to do it better, or I'm going to do it differently. So that is wisdom. So you come down in the last shower with all that wisdom and you're observing your present reality exactly as it is, based on a reflection of all your previous thoughts, feelings, and actions, the day before, the week before, the month before, the year before. So if you can train your mind to focus and train your body to focus and train your energy to focus on what is preferred now, then you will master your reality. So in training your mind, your body, and your energy to focus on what you prefer, you are giving preference to the organic nature of consciousness. You are preferentially learning what you want and what you want more of. And it's like, if you go to those arcade games, like we probably all have done when we were children, and you've got those games where you've got the little hammer or the stick or whatever, and you're trying to hit all the squirrels or the rabbits or whatever it is that's popping up as fast as you can. So as experiences come up in your awareness, you have a moment-by-moment opportunity to either engage it and invest more energy into it, or to disengage it and redirect your energy to that which is preferred if you so desire. So mastering your reality, being the master of your own universe, is first about awareness. Awareness as to who you really are, what you really are. As a dynamic expression of creation, 70 plus trillion cells within a body, a biology of consciousness. You're a living, breathing expression of consciousness. So therefore, if I wake up every single morning feeling clean and whole and balanced and renewed, I'm present to this moment. I am not taking yesterday, last moment, last week into my new future and tainting it with projected perception that this is all that is, or this is what was, and I'm secretly disadvantaged because I don't feel I have enough control or temperament or the knowledge or know-how to change my future, so I feel anxious or frustrated or sad or resentful, whatever it may be. Or maybe you're feeling excited by it. So you are building upon preferred experiences, and you're learning from those non-preferred experiences just as much. So that is the objective state, where you are no longer remaining polarized in your view of the world and no longer polarized in your experience of your reality. Okay? So mastering your reality is about knowing that you have at your fingertips, metaphorically speaking, within yourself, a very clear line of sight to your preferred experiences, to your target. And as I said in a previous episode around intentionality and focus and alignment, you are training the strength, you're training yourself to hold your bow and to withdraw or draw back the string of that bow to release the arrow of your desires towards the target that you seek to experience. You're training your body, you're training your mind, and you're training your energy to focus. What you focus on determines your next experience. What you focus on determines your next experience. So does that mean that if I have a string of thoughts or feelings or a string of inactions or decisions that I want to change, does that mean that I've already corrupted my preferred future, my preferred reality? No, you haven't corrupted it, because you now, through awareness, have observed yourself in an alignment that is not going to bring about the desires or the fulfillment or the experiences you seek to have. So you change your alignment. Therefore, change your thought, change your feeling, change your action. And the fastest way to do that is through behavior. So if you wake every single morning knowing that you are the master of your reality, then do you need to work so damn hard at being better? At the beginning, it feels like it. You need to commit to becoming a new person. You need to be at the point of change to accept that transformation is required for you to experience a new reality. So when you are committed to that and you feel that, metaphorically speaking, you are the pumpkin seed being squeezed by the pincer movement of the index finger and the thumb, and you're about to be squeezed out on a new trajectory, that's the time or the point of awakening where you go, this is my chance. I commit my body, my mind, and my energy to a new course of being, a new trajectory, a new experience, a new understanding of self through a new understanding of what I'm capable of by acting differently, behaving differently, modifying that which was to become that which is my new reality. All right. So underlyingly, going right back to the beginning of this podcast, there is this narrative that I have seen, heard, and felt expressed by so many business owners and entrepreneurs, and those that aren't in business, frankly, that I wish I had control back of my life. I wish I could have the belief, I wish I could believe that I can manipulate, change, command, redirect the energy outside of me and the flow of intention and the flow backwards towards me of those results. You do. You do have that power. You absolutely do. And so the encouragement and the invitation, one and the same, is to test it out, because everything's an experiment. Test it out. If I was to think, act, and feel as if I carry the wisdom of all experiences from an objective view into this now moment, how would I choose to think? How would I choose to feel? How would I choose to act? Interesting question. How would I choose? What would I choose? And then go about the next step. Well, in choosing that, then commit to that. And in committing to it, you are training your body as a conscious athlete. You are training your body and your mind and your energy for performance. You're training those three aspects that coalesce and form and unify to a single experience. And that single experience might be euphoria, or it might be that feeling of celebration or love, or it might be the feeling of relief or stability, certainty, confidence, whatever it may be. It's all based on the same principle and the same formula, that you do have a superconductive charge and command over your field. You do. And for you to believe anything less is not the truth. You may think, well, Matt, that's your perspective. Sure, you can think that. From my experience, it's true. From all the experiences I've had with clients and with people in my life throughout my life, it's true. Okay? So to master your reality, you must be prepared to master the self. And to master the self, you must be aware of the self. And you must be aware that within the self are many selves. So there are many I's. I am a father, I am a mother, I am a teacher, I am an educator, I am a trainer, I am a bus driver, a butcher, baker, candlestick maker, I'm a lover, I'm an activist, I'm all these sorts of things. I am quiet, I am rowdy, whatever it is, you have many, many I's. Okay? And each I is based on I am, which is the one eternal truth. That which precedes I am defines your creation. I am abundant, and you embody yourself as the I am. I am abundant, therefore I am abundant, but give reference and give focus and attention to that which you want abundance, what experiences you want abundance in. Because a lot of the questions I get at times is, I feel I can make change, but I'm not getting exactly what I want. I'm 80% there or 99% there, and there's this one thing, this one clincher that holds my fulfillment at bay. There's that 1% that says, maybe I'm on the wrong track. Maybe I've done something wrong. No. Everything that has occurred has been an opportunity to learn about the self, learn about the direction and the current and flow of your attention so that you can become more precise. You can become more specific. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be more specific on what the outcome looks like. At the beginning, it's a good exercise to do. Do you want a house that's got 5 bedrooms or 3, and you've got a family of 5? Do you want a holiday in the Caribbean or on Mount Vesuvius? Whatever it is. So there's details. But when you reduce it down and everything reduced to energy and frequency, then your specificities, the specific intentions and details you give are instructions. And they are carried as energy. Energy through your emotions, through a state of being. Making sense? So to wake up feeling the master of your reality, in command of your universe, would you worry so much that change has left your fingertips, that power is not at your fingertips? You wouldn't. You would not struggle like you do during the day to effort and grind and push through so much in order to maybe experience your desires, or maybe experience them but at 60% or 80%, never really feeling fulfilled. Does that make sense? So, to master your reality, be aware of the self, but also as the self, what are you giving preference to? And understanding that energy precedes matter, meaning that energy is thought in play, emotion in movement, and action in the field. Okay? So time is irrelevant. You may observe how long it takes for a cause to create an effect and be returned to you. You may feel, as I've said in other podcasts, that you have impatience or that you will push through to the end, but you're getting tired, you're leaking energy, you're focused on your end goal and hitting your targets, and yet there is this struggle all the way along to breathe and to keep your head above the water. I mean, I'm being quite dramatic about it, but you get the point. We've all been there at some point along our journey. So effort is required in the transformation process. Focus is required in the transformation process. Everything is an alchemical process. I am reducing the distraction and the noise, using the wisdom of lessons learned so that I can simplify my focus, simplify my being, and center myself in this now moment and choose to experience my preferred reality through my state of being right now. So it becomes more simple, or a simplified process. We move from chaos and complexity to order and simplicity. Yes? So if energy precedes matter, then energy precedes you. What inner conversations and dialogue are you having through your thoughts and your feelings? What inner conversations are you having through your decisions? What inner conversations determine your destiny and your preferred or non-preferred reality? Many. But we do not judge ourselves. There's no need to judge ourselves on, I'm off track, I'm on track, I'm not moving, or I'm going backwards, or I'm going forwards. It's all an observation. So let me finish with this. Being the master of your reality, you understand that everything is holographic. You may not understand it in that term, but it is. Everything is holographic in nature. So if I can experience everything ahead of time in the form of energy through my thoughts and emotions in this now moment, then holographically, I am transferring that information into the field. And so if I have a postcard that's a holographic postcard of a beautiful scene and I cut it up into 10 different pieces, each one of those pieces is the sum total of all parts. So what finds you in your field is actually the sum total of all your parts, all your thinking, all your feeling, all your actions. And so at the beginning, you may have a very complicated scene that you are looking to prune all the distractions and the noise and maybe this density, or maybe there's relationship or conversations or relationships with money or business or whatever it may be. You're looking to heal those aspects, return them to balance, restore balance. But as you work through the process, understanding that you are the master of your reality, the commander of your ship, little by little, using awareness, you are referring to that which adds additional value to your journey and adds additional oomph to your preferred experiences. And little by little, you're taking your attention off those things, those experiences that do not align with your preferred reality. And guess what happens? When we don't look at something, it ceases to exist in our perception. It still exists in the field as a potential. So if we go back and look at it again, it reappears. We look at it. We don't look at it and we look somewhere else, it disappears. Notice that? You can be in a room filled with all sorts of items, and someone will say, "Did you see that fantastic vase or table or that book?" Nope, because I wasn't looking. So in that moment, that book, that vase, that picture, that did not exist. And yet in the field, it always existed. So give attention and focus and direction to the currency of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. That is the way to master your energy. That's the way to master your reality. Moment by moment of stringing these experiences together so that you, at the depth of your being, know that I am capable of encountering anything in my life, because in this present moment, I have the preferential tools to draw upon to create the change and the upgrade or the transformation that I require or that I would prefer. So we can cover all ground and all realities and all certainties and transcend the fear that I'm not enough or I don't have the tools or resources to deal with the drama of life or the heaviness of life or something that may come out of left field and I don't know how to deal with it. I want to be prepared for it. That'll just keep you in the state of survival. That'll just keep you in a state of chaos deep inside, because what happens if something bad happens? As a master of reality, knowing exactly what I've just shared with you, you can succumb to anything. You can overcome. You can learn and garner the wisdom from every experience. So I'll leave you with that, a little bit deeper. Go back and listen. Would love your feedback on it. Remember, just remember, every morning, fresh, new, right here, right now. Bring what you prefer and focus your attention. So from me here to wherever you are in the world, dream a better dream. And remember, it's all you, baby. See you in the field.